2017 Porsche 911 GTS Cabriolet manual. Porsche's 911 might be the ultimate automotive yes man. You want rear-wheel drive? Sure thing. All-wheel drive? Yup. Little more power? Uh-huh. Lots more? Oh yeah. Lots more and then still a little bit more? You betcha. Maybe you want a whole shipping container full of power but no turbos in sight. We can do that. Or never mind power. How about a coupe? But of course. Convertible? Jar. Crazy complicated top that kind of just amounts to a huge sunroof? All of those variations might confuse the issue, but each of them is a different take on excellence. Take the 911 GTS Cabriolet tested here. It's not entirely unfair to view the GTS as an elaborate option package, albeit one composed of some parts that are otherwise unavailable on the regular Carrera S. It starts with the body of the all-wheel drive 911 Carrera 4, which is 1.7 inches broader than the rear drive shell. Then toss in the PASM Sport suspension and satin black 20-inch center lock wheels from the Turbo S. The latter are wider than the Carrera S's by a ½ inch both front, 9.0 inches, and rear, 12. Now fit bigger turbos pumping an extra 2.1 psi into the intake, 18.1, compared with 16.0 on the Carrera S and 13.1 on the base Carrera, netting 450 horsepower. At 6,500 RPMs and 405 pounds-ft of torque from 2150 to 5000. Make it loud with the Sport exhaust, and toss in the Sport Chrono package, which includes a nifty stopwatch, dash and dynamic engine mounts that firm up under aggressive driving to better control the powertrain's mass. Then dress it all up with black badging and exhaust finishers, plus dark-tinted tail light lenses. It's at least $20,000 in extras compared with the Carrera S and cost not quite $16,000 more, $132,350 to the Carrera S. Cabrio's $116,750. Handle with skill. Today's 911s are the definitive defense of the notion of cantilevering the engine out over the rear axle, and nowhere is that truer than in the GTS. There's not even a whiff of the evil proclivities that earn the layout its bad reputation. In fact, modern 911s are so stable that the car applies the inside rear brake to help turn in, and the example tested here also has the optional $2,090 rear-wheel steering system. Rotating more quickly was never something anybody wanted a 911 to do until recently. Drive like an idiot, and you still can end up in a high-speed reversing maneuver, but treat the car with respect, no need the line interfere, and the GTS will make you forget every negative word you've ever heard about 911 handling. With just 37.1% of its weight over the nose. Its 245/35 ZR20 front tires yank the GTS into turns, and you can lean on the more widely spaced 305/30 ZR20 rubber in back to power out hard without unintended oversteer. There are so many variations of the 911 that it's almost hard to view their accomplishments as exceptional, but 1.05 grams on the skid pad in a car rides comfortably is precisely that. A 3.6-second run to 60 miles per hour isn't too shabby either. Now that it's turbocharged, the 911 GTS makes as much power as the capital T Turbo did barely more than a decade ago. But no non-GT2 turbo has been rear drive since the 964 ended production in 1994. The turbos do mute the 3.0-liter flat six somewhat, but with the top, or just the windows down, there's just enough whistle to add a little excitement to the soundtrack. And it's hard to argue with the additional 80 pounds-ft that the turbochargers contribute. Compared with the previous, naturally aspirated GTS, that's a bump of a full 25%. that the engine in this example is paired with a manual made it even sweeter. Porsche's 7-speed is one of the finest gearboxes we've ever had the joy of stirring, with silky action and a perfectly weighted clutch pedal. So many ways to spend. With so many variations on the theme, you might think that Porsche hasn't yet perfected the 911 formula. But you'd be wrong. It's just tweaking the formula to perfect it for a wide range of buyers. Well, that and to make ginormous piles of cash. Too bad that only the Carrera and Carrera 4 Coupe start at less than $100K nowadays. This GTS Cabriolet starts at $132,350. The rear axle steering and a couple of odds and ends bumped it up to $136,690. That's creeping awfully close to GT3 territory, $144,650, but with a more supple ride and the option to drop the top, the GTS is a more versatile example of the breed.